Hey everyone, welcome back to Old Rivers Farm. Got a pretty cool video to share with you today. So I went to an auction. Guess it would have been about a week ago now. It wasn't a farm auction, but I bought one of the. Well, it wasn't a farm auction, but they did have a few little pieces of small farm equipment. So I've never bought anything before, any equipment at an auction, so pretty excited about it. Yeah, I'll flip it around here and show you what I got. Obviously I've been to cattle auctions before and have bought mainly like bottle calves and stuff, but as far as buying something at auction, this is my first time actually buying like a piece of equipment at an auction that I can remember. I don't think there's anything I have that I bought at an auction. So yeah, it was really fun, and came out I think I came out with a pretty good piece here for what I paid. So let's walk up here and take a look at it. All right, here it is. It is a Easy Trail bale basket. Now, from what I found out, there's two different models, and again, that may not even be right, but there's supposed to be a 75 bale and a 100 bale model. I'm not sure which one I have. If anybody knows how to tell the difference, or if anybody has any information on these, please let me know, because of course I got to make a video and 50 cars drive by. But let me know if you guys have any information on these. I'm not sure which one this is. It just has Easy Trail. The trail part's gone, but the easy part's still on there. And this side just says easy. So let me give a little backstory on this thing. Obviously, if you don't know what it is or what it does, I'll explain it really quickly. This goes behind a square baler. You hook the square baler up here, and the bales basically go up this chute and fall into the basket. When you get to the place that you want to dump them, you pull this lever, and that entire back door or whatever, it opens and dumps you a nice hunk of square bales on the ground. It's a bale basket. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it an accumulator. I guess you could, a square bale accumulator. But anyways, it's quite a big piece of equipment, really. So a little backstory to this. This was actually the place they had the auction. This piece of equipment has been sitting up there for. The owner told me it had been sitting up there for almost 10 years. I know I had seen it. It was behind some trees, and they cleared some timber, so you could see it from the road. I know for at least a good 5 years. The story on it is last year I rode by, and I did a lot of straw last year, and I was really tired of just picking them up by myself. I can't afford a accumulator and grapple. I mean, it seems like they're around 10, 12, 13 grand, and right now I just can't justify it. So I stopped by to see if this one was for sale, how much they would want for it. The guy told me he would take $1,500 for this, and yes, there's supposed to be a dolly wheel right there. I'll get to that story in just a second. But anyways, he wanted $1,500 for it. I didn't pull the trigger on that, and I'm really glad I didn't. I'll get to that in just a second. So anyways, this auction came around, and they basically, the place that had the auction was like an auto parts place that did like salvage and stuff like that. So there was a lot of like, you know, auto parts stuff. There really wasn't a lot of farm equipment. I think they had a bush hog and like a little small spinner spreader and a tiny like 5-foot disc harrow, and then this. So the majority of the people there were not there to really buy farm equipment, I don't think. This auction was not an online auction, and it was not advertised for very long, so not a lot of people I don't think knew about this auction. However, I think even if it was, there's not really a lot of people around here that square bale, and the people that do square bale, they have accumulators and grapples. I do know one person, I mean, that I've ever seen in the state of Georgia, and I'm sure there's people that have them, but I've only seen one person around here use these, and he's got like 20 of them. But other than that, I don't know anybody else that uses these. As far as I know, I think there's another company that makes these, but Easy Trail is the main one. I'm trying to get right here in this shed so I can kind of block the wind. Anyways, it was really spur of the moment. Like, I really wasn't even planning to go to this auction, and I can't remember what I was doing, but I was busy, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna ride up there. So I rode up there to the auction. It was packed. There were people everywhere for this thing. I got there, got a buyer's number. It was very, very close. It was a close call because they were probably 20 pieces away from selling this. So I got there very, very late, if you will. And as soon as I pulled up, there were 15 people, I don't know, 10, 12 people that had their hands on it like this, just kind of sitting around watching the auction. And when I saw that, I was like, oh boy, you know, it's going to be tough to get this. And you know, I kind of had a price in my head that I could pay. You know, I was thinking because I really didn't need to spend money on this. I mean, I need it, but it's, you know, I saw a few things on it that would keep it from, you know, bringing what, you know, 1,500, like what they were asking for the year, you know, last year. So I kind of thought about $800. That's kind of what I thought. Maybe 900 would be the top. And if I felt like it, maybe $1,000, but that would be the top. And when I saw those people standing next to it, I was like, oh man, there's no way that this is going for any less than probably $2,000. Well, no joke, as soon as the truck that had the auctioneer in it pulled up to this thing, those people just dissipated. And there I was, just standing right next to it. And they started the bid off at $50. And so, of course, I bid in. And there was a guy standing next to me. He really, honestly, he just looked around. And he was like, wow, this is a big piece of, it kind of seemed like he was like, oh, this is a pretty big piece just to be starting at $50. So let me go ahead and get in. So he got in. And it was just me and him, and you could tell he didn't want this thing. And he was just like, hey, if I can get this for whatever, you know, 150, 200 bucks, you know, yeah, I'll get it. So he got out at, what did he get out at? Did he get out at 250 or he got out at 300? Anyways, I ended up, the sale price was $300. I had to pay $30 commission. So I brought this thing home for $330. I don't think that was bad at all. I was actually really happy with that. Again, for my first auction buy, I never get lucky with any kind of, you know, good deals on farm equipment, but this was, I think, yeah, it was awesome. I think it was a really good buy for 330 bucks. So let me show you what it needs done to it really quickly. Obviously, both these tires, they pumped up enough to get it home. That one has stayed inflated ever since, so that's awesome. This one, though, has not. Shouldn't be a problem to get that fixed. The latch works great. You pull it and it opens. The main problem is up here. When I was towing it home, this dolly wheel was not quite, even though I worked it around, it's just been sitting so long, this dolly wheel did not turn and swivel like it should, and it got stuck at a right angle, therefore causing the wheel bearing to go out. And yeah, it was a disaster. So I have that out right now, trying to get that fixed. There's some spots on it, like this has come apart. This has come apart, so but it's really not bad. You can tell there's been some welding up here done. Some welding. The hitch is good. Some rust there, but yeah, I mean, overall it's looks to me pretty straight. I've run this hitch several times and it opens fine every time, but probably what I'm going to do is, just to make sure, every time I leave with some bales going down the road, I'm going to chain this to make sure it doesn't pop open, and of course throw a tire on it. And then the little dolly wheel, I got to put another tire on it. So really just a wheel bearing and get this tire fixed. I guess put a tube in it or whatever, and buy a little $30-40 tire for that, and we'll give it a shot. But it literally made it a mile from the place, and yeah, there was a black streak going down the middle of the road, and then I guess pretty soon after that, after I noticed that, the wheel bearing went. And the crappy thing is I didn't know that this hole was here. You couldn't see it because it was covering it, but I didn't know this was here. So I spent a while trying to figure out how to get this thing home, because you need, if you don't, this flexes and it comes all the way up here. So this basically was dragging the road. So a little bit of a, it's crazy. And I had two people stop on the side of the road, buddies that were helping me figure out this, and we did not see this probably until we were trying to figure something out for, I don't know, 30-40 minutes, and we saw two little holes and got that figured out. Anyways, I thought it was pretty good for $330. You guys let me know what you think. If you have any experience with these, let me know. I would love to know. The only thing that I've been told is you can't turn too sharp with them, and that's kind of obvious. With the baler and the tractor, it's kind of a long deal. It'll save me about 50% of the work, but really you need a couple of these. That way you can unhook from the baler and leave them full in the field, have somebody tow them back to the farm. But one is going to help, but not a lot of help. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see what it does. I may end up just selling it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it works. But I thought for 330 bucks, why not? Let's get it, see what happens. I'm sure there's channels on YouTube that run these, but the channel that I know that I've seen these run before is Trinity Dairy. Go check their page out. But I think they use these to do all their square bales, how to do all their square bale hay. So I need to sit down and rewatch those videos again and see if there's any tips I can pick up on them. But yeah, I'm kind of worried about, the bales, still looking good after they go through that and then out, dumped out the back. So we'll see. Like I say, it's not perfect, but it'll save me some back-breaking work of loading hay, especially here in Georgia where it can be 110 degrees some days. So let me know what you think. I think the tires are actually really good. I mean, look at the rims. The rims look good. It's yeah, a little surface rust here and there, but overall I don't think it's a bad buy. So new purchase. It's pretty fun to go to an auction and actually buy something, because I've been to a lot of auctions before where you're just like, no, better not buy anything here, because some stuff sometimes it can go high. I got really lucky on this. Again, my first auction buy. Pretty happy with it. So thank you guys for watching. Should have some videos rolling out here pretty soon.